Hi, and welcome to the little apartment on the prairie. My cough has gotten worse again, so you may be able to tell my voice sounds a little strange. I think my throat's kind of irritated. I am so sick of being sick, and this cough has been driving me nuts so much that I dug out some old cough medicine I was prescribed a couple years ago in the back of my linen closet, and hopefully it helps. What I wanted to talk about today was this coronavirus that everyone seems to be talking about. And I'll start by saying that I encourage everybody to do your own research, because what's right for me may not be what's right for you. I may have different opinions on things than you do, and your medical needs may be different than mine. Your level of risk for contracting the virus may be different than mine. So just do your own research. I live in a small town out in the middle of nowhere, and I am aware that it's not a virus that only affects Chinese people. But right now, the greatest area of concern seems to be people who have recently traveled to China, whatever their nationality, but that they've been in China. So I'm in this little town in Nebraska, and I am pretty sure there is not a single Chinese resident in my town. And I would be surprised if anyone who lives in my town has been to China anytime in the last many years. Now, I'm about an hour away from Lincoln, which is a pretty good-sized city, and there's a much more diverse population there. And there's also a university there. I know there are some universities in the U.S. where they've talked about there being a large number of Chinese students and also American students who've been studying abroad in China. I don't know how big an issue that is in Lincoln or not. Probably less of an issue than in cities like LA or Chicago or New York, but, I don't know. But that is an hour away from me. So, and I don't travel. I don't even go that many places. I go to Walmart once a month, and I have decided that this month I'm going to order my groceries online and just pick them up. It'll be more convenient, as well as, it'll expose me to fewer people. But I think it's unlikely that I would get the coronavirus shopping at Walmart in Lincoln, Nebraska. But even though I think my chances of contracting the virus are really low, it's a time of year when there's a lot of illness going around. I had the flu recently, but it's still flu season. Peak flu season is in January and February. So it seems like a good time to just limit contact with lots of other people, or to avoid large groups of people when possible, for myself. Also, because I've got this cough now, I'm pretty sure I'm over the flu. It's been a few weeks since I was diagnosed with that. But now I've got this cough. I'm not sure what it is. I'll keep my germs to myself and avoid getting too close to other people's germs. To me, that seems like a reasonable plan. Another thing that occurred to me recently is I was reading about how the CDC and other government agencies are saying we don't need to be wearing face masks, like those surgical masks, that those are unlikely to help prevent people from contracting the virus. They don't fit that tightly to your face. Little particles of things could get around them. But they're useful if you're sick, so that when you cough or sneeze or breathe, your germs don't affect other people. And so that kind of makes sense, but then the Chinese government is advising their citizens to wear face masks. So I'm not really sure how much a face mask is going to help prevent people from getting the flu or the coronavirus or anything else. But one of the things I try to do is kind of be prepared. I'm not one of those people who are preparing for the apocalypse, like that have 2 years worth of food and water stored in their basement. But I have a couple months of food, and I don't have as much water stored as I should. But I have some basic medical supplies, first aid supplies, personal care supplies, that kind of stuff. And it had never occurred to me that it might be a good idea to have surgical masks in my supplies. It just hadn't occurred to me. So thinking about the coronavirus and surgical masks, I thought, well, maybe I should have some. And then I realized that every place in the world is pretty much sold out of them right about now, and I couldn't get a box of disposable face masks today if I wanted them. I mean, I could order some. They'd be on back order. It'd be a few weeks before they'd get here. So I don't know if you're aware of this, but you can get cloth face masks, and there are a lot of people on Etsy who sell them, and I decided to check those out and decided to buy a couple. And I thought I'd show you kind of what mine looks like and what my thoughts are about it. I'm not sure where I'll even wear it or if I'll wear it anywhere right now, but I'm just going to have it on hand in case I would need one for some reason. So I bought this one, which looks like a green, basic green, I got it upside down, mask. It's got the little tag on the bottom from the seller. This came from the creator, is named Snazzy Mask. And it's got little elastic ear loops, which mine are a little too long, so I'm going to just tighten them up a little bit. It's also got this little, I don't know if it's metal or plastic, piece in the nose that you can bend to fit your nose. So it would fit like this, but when I tighten up the elastics, it'll hold it a little bit more snug. Let me get that bent up there. So it would basically be like this. And it makes my face feel warm, and you can see how it gaps here, and it doesn't fit real snug. Which I guess is one of the reasons they're saying they're not going to protect you that much from getting a virus from someone else. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she suggested adding colloidal silver to a cloth face mask to increase protection. Colloidal silver is something I don't normally use. Some people take it internally. It's supposed to help fight infection. It's supposed to have lots of health benefits. I've read it can be risky for various reasons, and so it's not something I've ever been comfortable using. I'm not saying it's not safe. I don't know enough about it to know how safe it is or how to use it safely, is what I'm saying. And that's true with many herbs or types of alternative medicine. They might be dangerous if you don't know when to use them, how much to use, what the contraindications are, how to use them safely. But my friend thought putting it on the mask might help increase the protection. So I looked on Amazon, and I found this little spray bottle. And it's in a spray bottle. It's like a mist, so you can spray it on the mask. And I'm just going to give it a couple squirts. I'm not going to take it internally. People do. That's not something I'm comfortable with at this point because I don't know enough. I should learn more. So they had a couple different brands that came in a spray bottle. I picked one from Sovereign Silver, partly just because it was affordable. And if I decide I need a face mask, I'm going to give it a couple squirts with the colloidal silver and do that. And other than that, that's what my personal plans are to deal with the coronavirus at this time. So I'd love to hear what your thoughts are about the virus, if you're taking any steps to protect yourself, and if anybody uses colloidal silver and knows some stuff about it, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks, and have a good evening.